What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have football back starting today. We have NFL preseason, a massive slate, which we've had preseason obviously for a few weeks now, but we do also have college football. So if you're one of the lucky individuals who is allowed to bet on college football in your state, then this is going to be the day for you. So I'm super excited about it. Only 4 games are playable on most of these platforms, but regardless of that, I like these games a lot for in terms of value-wise, because a lot of these props I think are a little bit lower than they should be, just because it's the first game. There's obviously going to be first game jitters. It's going to be a little bit it's going to be hard to fill out some of these teams, especially a lot of transfer portals and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, we're going to do just college football and just NFL preseason today. If you want to get WNBA and MLB, you do need to be in the Discord. If you guys want to get 20% off of our Discord right now, you can join for or join with code NFL. It gives you 20% off. This is the last weekend to get this code in. So today and tomorrow are going to be the last 2 days to do this. You can get in for $25 a month or $10 a week. Get 20% off each of those. So $8 a week or $20 per month if you guys sign up today using code NFL. It's up to you guys if you want to. Obviously, to join the Discord, it is free, but to join the VIP area to get all of our plays, you do have to pay a little bit, which is, I think, a pretty small fee to join this community. So anyways, can't get a free month signing up for any partnered app. Partnered apps are linked down in the description. Underdog, Sleeper, Parlay Play, Chalkboard, Better, Novig, and Dabble. Any of those 7 apps get you a free month of VIP. Sign up with one of our codes. Let me know, and I'll get you guys added for up to a full 7 months if you sign up to all of them. That being said, let's pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. Brandon Aubrey chalked a massive, massive day, which we'll go over here in just a minute. But anyways, guys, picking our random comment from yesterday. If this video gets 200 likes, I'll pick a random comment down below to win a free month. So hit the like button, drop a comment. Our winner is for Rashad Thomas, 6528. He put money bags. Well, Rashad, send me a message on Discord, my man. I will get you added for a free month of VIP. And I appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. So let's take a look at our Underdog Bankroll Challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, games start in 3 hours. I'm not going to do 2 videos today, so I'm going to take a break on the 2 videos just because I'll slip a little later than I wanted to. I've been researching college football for about 2 hours now, and I'm just trying to find good plays because I want today to be a good start to the day. And anyways, our bankroll challenge, I'm just going to put in this video, and we're going to do it kind of light today. But you can see current bankroll sitting at $195. Yesterday was very, 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 very close to being a massive day. We needed 1 catch from Martinez or 1 pass completion. It was there. It got called back due to a flag, and then they ran the clock out. Unlucky on that one. That would have cashed a slip, and I'll go ahead and show you guys results. I mean, yesterday wasn't a very good day. We've had 3 losing days in our challenge in a row, which is unlucky. Look at this one. So all we needed was Brandon Aubrey to kick a field goal. We had 1 field goal in the first half. Dallas came out and had the greatest offense of all time last night and for preseason. Payout details. This would have been there's a $10 slip for a, 6.7x, something like that. Does it say on here? Am I blind? It was 75% profit boost. Had to be over a 6x. Anyways, it was a 6.7x, I'm pretty sure. So this would have been a $67 slip, which would have put us at $261. If Aubrey would have cashed that, he would have cashed this one as well. So another hook. This one was another $10 slip. Lost $10, would have won us a 3x. So that would have been $90 added to our bankroll just from those 2 slips, which put us at $275 profit. And then if we would have hit this Adrian Martinez, which you can see he had 86 passing yards, he threw a 24-yard pass at the end of the game, completed it. They called it back due to a flag. So that would have cashed him right here. We had 110 passing yards. That would have cashed this slip for another 3x. So we would have had $120 added to our bankroll. Would have been back over 300 if it wasn't for a couple of just unlucky things. Obviously, we did have Agumike and Paige Beckers. That one wasn't even close. That was a 40 or 35-point blowout. I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, Beckers isn't going to play in those because they're not even fighting for playoffs anymore. Agumike, they're going to save her. They ain't worried about her playing. She couldn't even get 13 points. Unlucky, man. It is what it is. We're still double our bankroll from where we started. We have cut this in half in the last 3 days. So managing bankroll has been a key factor in the last few days by saving as much as possible. So we're going to stay to our $10 slips today. We'll do some free plays here in just a minute. But let's go ahead and take a look at this slate. We're going to do college football first. Then we'll go over a couple of NFL plays. And we're going to talk about college football. Let's jump into it. So the first play that I like for college football is going to be for our man Micah Alahido. So I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name correctly, but the Hawaii quarterback, his line is set to 287.5 passing yards, 21.5 rushing yards, or 2.5 passing touchdowns. So that's tough lines. I'm going to play this one a little bit safe for the challenge. I'm going to buy him down to 249. I know 249 might not seem that safe, but let's take a look at Micah Alahido. So pull up our man Micah real quick. Playing versus Stanford tonight, playing at home or today. This one I think is this the first game of the day? No, the Cyclones and Wildcats are first. So this is a late night game. Let me go ahead and get those 4 games selected so I don't start seeing props from other games that aren't today and get confused. But anyways, we got Micah Alahido at 249.5 passing yards. So he only had 1 game last season where he started. He threw for 469 passing yards. You can look at this, man. Passing attempts, he had 57 pass attempts in the last game versus New Mexico back on November 30th. The games before that don't count. He didn't even really start those games. They throw the ball 64% of the time. So they're definitely a pass-heavy offense playing versus Stanford. I think this game is going to be pretty competitive. Honestly, I think the spread's pretty close. And Stanford gives up more passing yards than about any other team in the league, man. 131st in the nation, 280.6 passing yards per game versus a team that passes the ball 65% of the time. It's going to be a great chance for Micah to come out here and get some yards to start the season. Obviously, 287 is a pretty high number. That's why I really didn't want to take that one. But at 250, man, I think he gives us 250 for sure, especially if they're going to give him 40 to 50 passes per game. Now, the only thing about this is if Hawaii comes out here and blows out Stanford and it just isn't even close, they're obviously going to run the ball just to milk the clock. That's part of this thing we have to look at in these small team games. Some of these games do just become blowouts big time, but I do think Stanford keeps this game close enough. I kind of have Hawaii winning this one personally. We'll see how Micah does today in his debut really for the season. And at 249.5 passing yards, I'm going to lock him in. So you can get this on Prizepicks as well. I think he's the same, 249. And I did check the value on this. So I checked the value on the slip. It's better payout on underdog right now than Prizepicks. And we'll go ahead and take a look at him here in just a minute. But we got Micah Alahido, and then over 249.5 passing yards. That's our first pick of the day. And I know there's not a whole lot you can go into. You can look at last season. There's no last season data to really go off of. So, and you can see, obviously played for Hawaii that last game. And it wasn't like a transfer at the end of the season or anything like that. So he is starting quarterback this year. We'll see what happens with that. I like to play, and I like giving him a chance here for 250. So that's going to be for pick number 1. Pick number 2, we're going to jump over to Avery Johnson. So Avery Johnson is going to be our next play. The Kansas State University quarterback. That's funny. Anyways, playing versus Iowa State. So a tough matchup. This is the game of the day. Starts at noon. So early game, great game. This is the game I'm going to be turning up watching. Excited for it. And you can see his passing yards are sitting at 203.5. Now, if you buy him down to 175, which is a pretty safe line, you can get a 1.7x slip. So not quite a double up, but when you're playing these safer plays on underdog, I like the value here at 1.7x. I think you're getting some pretty decent value. So let's pull Avery Johnson up and look at it from last season. We can't take a look from this season. Obviously, these are different teams. This isn't going to be perfect when you're looking at last season stats, but in terms of the offense, you can kind of get a good read on it. So you can see he cashed just 8 of his last 10 games. He cashed just 9 of 13 games on the season last year. He did throw for 209 yards per game on average. Head-to-head data, they have 1 game versus Iowa State, and you can see he did end up with 220 passing yards that game. So I like the odds here of him going 175 pass yards. Now, they are more of a run-heavy team. It's not by much. It's literally a 6% difference. So it's pretty much a 50-50 split. They do pass and run the ball a decent amount. They're going against the number 1 defense in terms of passing yards allowed. Now, obviously, these passing yard, when you're looking at the ranks on here, you have to understand strength of schedule as well. So when you have teams like Hawaii or Western Kentucky, and they have like just decent defensive stats or something, you have to understand their strength of schedule is not good. They're playing against bad teams, so they're not giving up many yards. And I'm not saying Iowa State is a bad team by any means. They're not. They're a good team, and I'm not saying that they had a super weak schedule. I'm just saying that in general, like, you have to kind of play this by. You have to kind of give some discretion to this, because it's not going to be 100% accurate on what they're going to do versus good teams. And Kansas State's going to be, they're a pretty good team, man. At 175 passing yards, Avery Johnson, you can see he threw for 300 a lot of these games. He threw for 220 the last game. So 175 should be a good start, especially since I think Iowa State wins this game in Kansas State. I think Iowa State comes in there. I think they get the dub tonight. And that being said, I think that's going to lead to Avery Johnson passing the ball even more. And you can see he averages, let's go to last season. So he's averaging 28.6 pass attempts per game. Some of these games he's getting 40. The last game head-to-head he had 28. So right on his average versus Iowa State. If the game stays close, then obviously they're going to play the regular offense. If they get down a couple TDs, they're going to have to pass the ball some. And especially if it starts getting deeper into the game. You can see the last score was 29-21. It was a very close. It was a very competitive game. I expect this to be a competitive game again today. And at 174.5 passing yards, you really got to lock it in, man. Or I am anyways. So let's go ahead and get him here on underdog. It's a 1.71x. It is actually a 1.7x on Prizepicks, so it's pretty much the same value. I'm going to put 1.5 units on this, so it's going to be a $15 slip to profit 1 unit on the dot. I'm going to do it that way. If you guys do want to tell this slip, you can. That's what I've got, and that's what I'm going to lock in. So that's going to be our first pick of the day. Micah Alejado with Avery Johnson, both over a discounted passing yards. And if you guys do want to tell, if you want to play the regular line, I don't think 208. The original line for Avery Johnson is not too high. He can definitely come out here and throw for 250, 220. He saw he had 220 his last game. It is just the opening game of the season, and I want to see how these teams kind of get going before I start playing regular lines like that, because it's just obviously going to be harder to hit a slip like that. But anyways, jumping into our third pick of the day, we have is going to be for our man Jalen Daniels. So Jalen Daniels is going to be the Kansas quarterback. So let's see here. So Kansas versus Fresno State. You got Jalen Daniels, his line sitting at 198.5 passing yards, 39.5 rush yards. If you decide to play rushing yards in college football, remember, a sack will be negative rushing yards. So if Jalen Daniels gets sacked for 15 yards, it will be minus 15 rushing yards. Remember that, unless the rule has changed this year, which I don't think it has, and I will confirm that. But just remember, when you're playing the rushing yards in college, their lines will be slightly lower because sacks. Now, I will say Kansas does not get sacked, or Jalen Daniels does not get sacked a lot. And we'll look at those stats here in just a minute. But I like his passing and rushing yards at 243.5. I think there's good value in this play versus Fresno State. So let's go ahead and get this play up. Jalen Daniels, Kansas University, playing at Kansas versus Fresno. So we're going to look at his passing yards. His passing yards set at 199.5. He averaged 204.5 passing yards per game last season on the season versus Fresno. They give up 215 passing yards per game. Let's look at Kansas's offense. They run the ball 59% of the time. They are a run-heavy offense. A lot of this is led by Jalen Daniels. He does get a ton of rush opportunities. We're going to look at the defense from Fresno versus the offense of Kansas. Now, you can see, hopefully my camera's not going to scroll up so my camera's not in the way if it is. But you can see, passing yards. 90th for Kansas. Kansas is on the right side if it was blocking it, and Fresno's on the left. But you can see 90th passing offense in the nation, getting almost 210 passing yards per game, going against the 61st best defense in Fresno. Fresno's is one of those teams, like I said, they play against pretty terrible teams. Like, they don't have a very strong season. And that being said, the passing defense means nothing to me. Same thing for the rushing defense. Give up 140 rushing yards per game. You can see Kansas has the 13th ranked rushing offense, getting 212 rushing yards per game. Looking at sacks, Kansas take 0.8 sacks per game. And Fresno gets 1.8 sacks per game. So they don't get very many sacks, 72nd in the league. 72nd in the league. And they have the 5th ranked sack defense, for example. They don't get quarterback. They don't get hit very often, 1 hit per game. Like, Jalen Daniels does not get sacked very often. And when he does, obviously we're going to lose yards. But that being said, I don't think he gets sacked too many times by Fresno. Knock on wood, hope that doesn't happen. Pass and rush yards last season, he cashed this line 6 of 12 games. He averaged 241 per game. Lots of games he's getting over 300. You can see Fresno is middle of the pack in every single category in terms of passing and rushing yards. It's one of those that hopefully this game stays close. Looking at the spread on this game, let me take a look real quick. If they obviously get a huge lead, then they're going to not risk injuring Jalen Daniels. They're probably not going to run him as much. So just put in their backup running backs and just let them milk the clock. This game is a minus 13.5 point spread for Kansas. So Kansas is favored to win by 13.5, 2 touchdowns. If the game stays slightly competitive, obviously, Jalen Daniels could get this, and so all it'll take is a couple of big quarters, and our man Jalen Daniels could catch this pretty early, honestly. So I like the odds here for Jalen Daniels, 243.5. I'm obviously taking a risk on this. I don't think Fresno has the defense to stop him. I do think that Jalen Daniels can move the ball on him. I'm just hoping that Fresno can move the ball on Kansas and be able to score to keep the game close enough for Jalen Daniels to continue moving the ball. That's the only problem we have here. If it's a blowout, obviously, 48-3 here, he went under. They did lose this game versus Illinois. They lost this game versus UNLV, which this was close. The better team, obviously, UNLV is versus West Virginia. They lost, and he went under, but he couldn't rush the ball at all. Some of these games he's doing one or the other. But you can see towards the second half of the season, man, he really kind of stepped up in gear. They played well, and I like the odds here for our man Jalen Daniels. Now, the next pick was my least favorite of the four. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys. It is for our man Elijah Green. And the reason I'm worried about this play slightly is it's the Sam Houston State running back. And he just transferred over from last season. 48.5 rushing yards. I like the over on this one. This is one of those, like, we'll see how it goes. Like, we don't have any data to go off of. He's not technically a starting running back. They don't have a starter, so they're going to be, like, kind of putting him in and letting other starters go and all this other stuff. They're just going against Western Kentucky, man. Western Kentucky's favored to win. I think Western Kentucky wins, and I also look at Western Kentucky's defense. They have one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, giving up 221 rushing yards per game. So Sam Houston could probably move the ball on them. They run the ball 58% of the time. They're a run-heavy team with a lot of different running backs. 48 yards is not a lot when you're looking at something like this. You can see he did play for Iowa, the game last season or whatever before he transferred over. But regardless, man, I like Elijah Green. Am I going to play him on this slip? Do I trust him for this one? I don't think that I trust him enough to play him with my Jalen Daniels play. It's one of those, I guess we could. I don't want to double up on one of the other two. Let's see here. Let's look at pass yards for college football real quick. College football passing yards, and we're going to see if we can find something we would rather play with Jalen Daniels because I like the play. I don't know if I want to put it on the challenge. I don't know if I like it enough for the challenge. I'm going to be honest with you. So I do think he cashes, though. It's just one of those things. Wish I could just filter this for today. We could throw in Micah again and get an early one. Avery again. We could do Jalen Daniels really low passing yards or really low rushing yards. What's Jalen Daniels rushing yards? I wonder if I can buy it down. Nah, you can't buy it down any. That's just tragic. Rocco Bet. Could go with Rocco. Rocco was I haven't even looked at Rocco. I'm gonna be honest with you. Rocco was one of those players I should have been researching as well versus Kansas because like I said, it's gonna be a close game, man. They're gonna need him. And he threw for over 200 every single game, man. This was a pretty good play. Head to head, he only had 137 versus Kansas State. They do pass the ball 49% of the time, run the ball 51% of the time. He averaged 35 pass attempts last season versus Kansas. This season, or on the season, I mean, he averaged 32.6 pass attempts. Rocco might be one of those good ones, man, at 199.5. And that gives us a 2.66. I think I'd rather go with Rocco than that. So we're going to do this. We're going to put $10 on this to win 26, and that's going to be our second play of the day. And I'm going to lock in one NFL play, and I like Rocco, man. I should have looked at Rocco earlier. I don't know why I didn't, but yeah, this is one of my favorite plays, actually, Rocco. I think Rocco throws for 200 for sure. That being said, get these off the board on Prizepicks. Let's get everything swapped over to NFL. NFL preseason, I've got two plays I like. The first one's going to be for-man Cameron Dicker, so we're taking Dicker the kicker. Dude's been a wagon. 1.5 field goals made. He's favored to go under. You can see his 0.83x to go under, 1.08 to go over. It's not one of those plays that's going to have a super high hit rate. He's cashed it both games this season already. He had 3 his last game. They're playing against the 49ers. 49ers gave up a ton of pass yards versus the Raiders. The Chargers should be able to move the ball versus the Niners, honestly. I don't think that they're going to be able to score every single drive, but I do think they're going to be able to get into field goal range a lot of the time, especially for Dicker. Dicker's got a long, he can kick from deep down the field. Probably a better way to say that. I like him for 1.5 field goals made. We see what happened with Aubrey last night. Aubrey of Dallas moved the ball too easy, and they could run the ball, throw the ball, whatever they wanted to last night versus the Falcons. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen with Dicker. I'm hoping they can stop the run and make them kick a field goal a couple times this game. I think the odds for that are good. I like Dicker to have a chance here. Chargers like to win games, and that being said, Dicker should get some opportunities. So like that play a lot. That's going to be our first one. Then our second pick of the day is going to be for our man Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell has threw for over 100 passing yards every single game. Arizona just gave up 300 passing yards their last game. It's a good matchup. O'Connell's 88.5 passing yards. He should get the full first half, I do believe. And let's go ahead and pull up the Raiders. Can I do that? Can I do this by Raiders? Can. So who else do they have on here? They just have Cam Miller at 85.5 pass yards. So yeah, I think we're good with O'Connell. Research on this has been a little bit difficult for preseason, especially with it being week 3. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I think Aiden O'Connell gets the entire first half, or gets at least a half. And I think 88.5 passing yards versus Arizona is going to be easy enough for him to cash. So we're going to put 1 unit on this to win $37.80. A great payout on this play, and that's what we're going to have for our underdog challenge and for the for the free picks. So let's take a look at these, pick them. Here's what we have. We have $35 in entry fees. Potential payouts obviously going to be way higher than that. We got Avery Johnson discount line with Micah Alejado discount line. We got Jalen Daniels regular line with Rocco Bet discount. This is a nice little 2x. And then we have Cam Dicker with Aiden O'Connell, both of these together for a nice little 3.7x or whatever it was. So we got some really good plays here. I like all three of these slips. I think there's a good potential all three of them cash, and I'm hoping it does for our ladder challenge to bring us up. But anyways, guys, that's what I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. College football is here. Let's enjoy the season, guys. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Like I said, leave a comment and a like on the video for a chance of free VIP. We'd love to have you guys in the Discord. There's going to be some more college football today as well. Probably some for Prizepicks and for parlay play as well. Probably Chalkboard. Chalkboard's going to have some discounted lines. But lock them in if you like them, guys. Fade them if you don't. And I'll see y'all in the next one.